traveling this holiday season, you'll want to tune up your car before you take off. All new at 3, we have called in an expert to help us avoid any car trouble. Oscar Granados, owner of Scottsdale Collision Center, is here with us with a list of action points. Oscar, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
I mean, a road trip usually sounds like a fun way. You load up the car, you depend on that vehicle,
Correct.
but that car depends on us to take good care of it too.
Correct. And we're used to the car telling us everything that it needs, right? We're not like the old cars. You really did a check, but we really encourage people to check their cars to make sure that everything's sound and safe before you travel and go on the road. Some of the basic things that you need to check, obviously, make sure you check your tires. That's very, very important. If you're going long distance, make sure you have a spare. If you don't have a spare, make sure you figure out if there's run flats on the car, because sometimes if you get a flat, some of these newer cars, you can drive the car up to a certain amount on a flat tire without any damage to the car.
Okay, so we're going to check our tires, our windshield wipers as well. We're just talking about the snow, rain, snow.
You get caught in a storm from here to another state. I know we don't get a lot of rain. I think we get like 300 days of sun here. But that sun dries out your windshield wipers. And when you get stuck in a storm and you turn them off, they can deteriorate, causing damage to your windshield and low visibility. So we highly recommend you get those checks. You can drive to either our shop, go to an AutoZone, they'll replace those for you. You can buy them there and they'll replace them for you. Same thing with the batteries. You can drive into most AutoZones and they'll check it for free.
Yeah, you want to check that, especially after our long, hot summers, right?
Yes. Absolutely.
What about winter grade oil? What does that mean?
Well, in Arizona, you don't really need it, right, as much as you do in the colder states. Any synthetic oil would be good for your car, and that's really all you need. Just make sure that it's up to date and you are doing your maintenance checks and you are changing the oil in a timely manner and you're not running on low oil.
Yeah, we also want to have a game plan in case something goes wrong in the car. What kind of things should we put in the car? We were chatting off camera about some kind of locks that are on the vehicle now.
Yeah, so funny story that happened to us. We went to Rocky Point and we got a flat tire, and I realized that the dealership had put a lock on my wheels.
What does that mean?
So there's your standard lug nuts that anybody can remove, and then they'll give you a special one so nobody steals your wheels. So it's more of a protective source. But if you don't know that you have those and you get a flat tire, you won't be able to get the wheel off, or it's going to be a very expensive repair if you do make it to a tire shop. In Rocky Point, there's no dealerships where you can go buy the lug nut or the lock, so you can really get yourself in trouble if you don't check for those things.
What did you do?
Luckily, we ran into a local tire shop that was able to patch it while the tire was still on, enough to get to the States where I can get a lock and get the tire replaced.
So you had a game plan pretty much, though.
Well, I'm in the collision industry, I'm in the car industry, so I kind of know how to navigate my way around cars.
For sure.
The average person that really doesn't understand can really get themselves in trouble.
So what should we put in the car?
There's safety kits. So there's first aid kits, safety kits, just in case you get a flat tire, you're on the side of the road. They'll have flares, they'll have reflectors. That way you can safely pull over to the side. You know, carry water with you, so if you get stranded on the side of the road, make sure your cell phone's charged. So if you need any emergency, you can make a call and somebody can come to your aid. And have a good game plan of where you're going. Make sure you know where the rest stops are, the rest stops where you can stop and put gas, etc. Because along the way, a lot of these gas stations have everything that you need to make it a lot easier to travel. But put a first aid kit in your car, or just an emergency kit. That way you have everything you need.
Great advice, because we usually look at from point A to point B, but see what's along the way that would be a safe place to save us in an emergency. Oscar, thank you so much for keeping us safe. We appreciate it. Nice to meet you.
Thank you very much for having us.